Well, I'm glad I'm done with the Drifters video, so now I can focus on smaller titles and really review the more obscure mangas. Oh, it's the editor. Yeah, what do you want? Why do you want us to review another adult comedy series? The last one wasn't even that good. What do you mean by second time lucky? Well, I don't want to talk about more adult gag mangas since I felt like I got my point across the last time. Yeah, I know the Valhalla Mansion VO did better than Drift is, but that's really because it's been out for longer, so it's not really a fair comparison there. No, I will not review Why You Here Sensei just because that's what people would click on. Are you definitely sure this is what people want? Okay, fine, I'll do a mature comedy series, but I'm picking the title since your suggestion still sucks. So, thanks to the intervention of my lesser self, here we are talking about Black Gakkou, which is its shortened title that I like to use. Its full title is, and I'm gonna probably end up ruining this because I can't pronounce it, but it's Burukaku? Not pronouncing that right. Buraku Gaku ni Tsuta Mite Shimata Sensei. It will be on screen, it's fine. But, it translates to what I believe is a teacher who worked at a black school, which sounds vaguely racist, so I'll just go with this other title I found. Crap, I'm a teacher at a black Garo school. You know what? Let's just call it Black Goku. This is another adult gag manga, but unlike Valhalla Penis Mansion, this doesn't constantly horny post. That doesn't sound right. It's fine. In fact, I would argue it tries to be the opposite, considering our MC is trying his best to not be horny. I mean, the female cast is certainly horny posting, which is unfortunate for our protag, since he's not that good at not being horny, but we'll talk about that soon. Well, I say soon, but I'm probably just going to cut to the synopsis right about. The plot is simple. Our main character is a new teacher at a school for 10 garus who are super horny and want to fuck him. That's the plot. What do you mean there needs to be justification for their actions? I mean, I guess there does need to be reason for the girls to be this thirsty. Don't worry, there is justification, and it's a very good one. The man has a cock that rivals a whale in terms of length. I mean, that's a joke, by the way, because it would be physically impossible, because the average size for a whale, well, member is like 2 meters. His schlong is more in line with horses. So the repeating plot loop is each chapter is, well, girls want sex, protag doesn't want to have sex because he's their teacher. Makes fucking sense. Um, and they try anyway, and hijinks happen. Very basic shit. I mean, there's an ongoing plot with our MC, figuring out if he's still in love with his old high school crush, but that's it. The entire plot is putting our protag in situations where he can't control his erection, and the girl's wanting his fobbing member. It's a very generic setup device of a plot, but this is a gag manga. It doesn't need to be something thrilling. What did happen with me enjoying this bland plot setup, though, was the fact that I just dropped the monster in Class 1A, which used the same framing device for its plot of male teacher in a class full of female problem students, which was a nice contrast. We just swapped out the MC for a character with complete control of his emotions to a man who can't even control his own monster erection. Like I said, plot is simple, but is also forgivable in this case because it's a gag manga. But also, its one main gag is incredibly funny. To me, at least. This series has one central joke, which is the fact that Sensei can't control his own raging erection. Moving past the fact that several high school girls tried to get with him every chapter, which wouldn't fly in any real life situation. I actually find it funnier than Valhalla Penis Mansion. Yeah, sure, it only has one note he can play, but holy shit, does it know how to use that one note. His cock is like a multi-tool, both for gags and literally everything else. This thing can do almost anything. It's capable of making the hose horny, launching said hoe, and it's also capable of hitting hoes, too. Does this count as a headbutt, though? Asking real questions, obviously. Anyway, the series only has one joke, and I love it, but I do wish they did a little more with it. Like, you made it your central gag, but I feel like there isn't much to it as outside of erection slash ejaculation happens, girls react in a funny way. They did try to do something with it with a censorship gag during chapter 2, and the previously mentioned multi-tool gag, but that's it. I feel like there's a lot more you can do with the setup, and they aren't doing it. This is already kind of a surrealist comedy manga anyway, so because there's no way in hell a dick is strong enough to do the shit it does in the manga. Maybe embrace it a little more and set up scenarios where the cock can do more unrealistic stuff. So, just one short thing I want to add it in here, because I noticed this while editing. Something I really want to mention is that I do appreciate what they do with our main character, where he actually does have moles. Like, yeah, sure, his dick doesn't, but I do like how the manga frequently shows that how he does not like this at all. He doesn't like the situation at all. He doesn't want to put his hands on these students if he doesn't want to. Like, it's very commonly shows like this isn't something he wants to do. And then like even when the teachers tries to encourage it, he goes, "Yo, we shouldn't be doing that. We're teachers. We're here to guide them." And there was even like a setup for the next arc we're going into, the Galeas arc, where they bring up one of the previous teachers and how he you know, did the deed, and well, he just showed absolute disgust in the teacher, and I think that's why I like this more. He is honest, and he wants to. He has morals. I think is the best way to put it. He has morals. He isn't like Shotokan. He just wants to be able to help these students out. And yeah, sure, they're hindering his ability to do that, as well as his cock. But yeah, I do like how they made sure to actually put in the effort to show that, yeah, our main protagonist has morals, and I really enjoy that. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. One short thing I want to add, though, before I close the book on this, or should I say, zip up the pants on this one. That sounded more funny in my head. Anyway, I want to bring up the art style because it does one of my favorite things I love in gag mangas, which is use a more realistic art style. While most gag mangas will rather go with a more crude and simplified art style, Black Goku and the humor of the series is improved because it decides to put more effort into the visuals and making it more detailed. It's sort of Monty Python-esque effect if you're familiar with their works. I know it's a weird comparison, but hear me out. If Monty Python's humor is carried by the fact that it does wacky scenarios with a straight face, Black Goku's humor is carried by doing these wacky scenarios with an overly done art style, which is the replacement for the straight face. Of course, there's more layers to Monty Python's humor, while Black Goku is just laugh at the futile efforts of a man who can't stop being horny, but that's the best way I can explain it with my poor English skills. The only other way I can help explain what I mean is, well, recommend another manga which does this, which in this case would be the whimsical sword, Demon Sword. He screwed that up. It's not only a good example of what I'm talking about here, it's generally a funny take on the fantasy setting and other tropes. Anyway, let's wrap this up now. Black Goku only has one thing going for it, and it does that one thing well, but if you don't like its one thing, it unfortunately doesn't really offer much else to the reader. You either love the joke or you don't, and even if you like the joke, it can wear out fast if you're binge reading it. I would recommend reading 4 to 5 chapters at a time if you're catching up the series because that's about as much as I can put up with before I start to feel the burnout myself. Good thing this series is bi-monthly because it's more of an occasional read. Kind of like a zombie chew if you ever had one of those. It's nice to have once a while, but having it weekly just makes it less enjoyable. Yeah, that perfectly sums up Black Goku. It's something best enjoyed occasionally, but not binged on, and it's definitely something you don't want to reveal to your friends because it would make you think that you're weird. I think I just ruined the analogy, but who cares? I just spent a whole video talking about a manga where MC was shoved into a harem doujin plot and doesn't embrace it. Here's a 7 out of 10 because I'm leaving. I got more mature titles to review.